been waiting and again that you're gone for good. Think about it, burn your lighters, wish I only could forget your bonus that.
Good morning, tech-savvy camera people. Usually I do a behind the scenes of Gear Street and how the whole tech works. And since I do that usually, we're doing it. So
we are keeping hostage. Please send help.
So we're gonna start in Studio B, the simple one, and then I run you through how we're making this work, the whole tech thing. Now people are arriving, so it's going to be crazy, but bear with me. So, the post office is this place. It is called the post office because literally that's where in my town the post office was. Right across the street from my house, there's disinfectant.
Very nice. Oh, hello.
And
hello.
in here
he is.
You have
himself.
You have the Belgian mic. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I need to do a little behind the scenes for Blackmagic. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course,
You can cut this out, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, in here, Mike is filming
I'm filming a PV.
a PV guitar.
It's a shame he didn't come in when I was doing Nick Cooper, because I absolutely adore that.
That's a good guitar.
It's beautiful.
So in here, we have set up Sennheiser system, which is really nice. We have lav mics and everything gets recorded onto a Zoom recorder, but of course you can also record with a shotgun mic we got set up there. So we got the Atem Mini Pro recording directly onto SSDs in the back there, so we're not doing live streaming. That with HDMI is going to simple cameras. We got a Sony 4K AX53, I think, and this is an older one. Don't ask me what it's called. I could tell you if I knew. And then up here, we have a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema, which out of its HDMI out, sadly only has HD, not 4K. But for this room, it's fine. And it shows you when it's connected to the Atem that it's on air. It has a tally light in the front. And I mean, that's a good image right there.
Yeah.
And it just works perfectly with the Atem. You can also completely remote control it. Mike, you're working with the Atem at home, right? For your live streams and everything?
I've got exactly the same one. I've got the Atem Mini Pro. As far as I'm concerned, it has saved me hours and hours of editing time. I also connect a switch to it via a computer, via wireless. And that means that I can make videos and switch between my 3 cameras and not have to worry about editing in post. So
are you using the AirStep?
No, I'm not using the AirStep.
Oh, something else, okay.
I bought a very, very cheap £28 standard USB switch, and it's perfect. You can program it, and it works brilliantly with the Atem. The thing with the Blackmagic stuff is because you can link to the software, it gives you so many options, and it's really, really easy to set up. I literally set this cheap pedal up to do a crossfade between each of the cameras. So all my shots crossfade beautifully, and that is all done in the back.
But no diamond wipes.
No diamond wipes. We don't do diamond wipes.
So here we can see the 3 cameras. This is pretty much the same setup we're using in the other rooms, just slightly scaled up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, slightly scaled up.
Well, we'll see. I have to say that this video in a way is sponsored by Blackmagic Design because I wanted to use the 2 new studio cameras, which are absolutely amazing. They can actually work with the studio converters only with a LAN cable. And we really wanted to use the 2. So I said, can you sell them to me? Because, well, I want to have them for Gear Street. And they just didn't make it. And they also said, we'll supply one. That's our contribution. And I'm very happy about that because, well, I don't know, probably invested $100,000 in Blackmagic so far. But sadly, they arrive on Monday. So maybe the last videos of Gear Street will be done with the new studio cameras.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
That'd be
and those are super awesome. I'm really happy. I probably want to buy a couple more.
Oh, what a surprise.
What a surprise. Okay, you do your video.
Thank you, mate.
That's the post office people. Also, the shotgun mic is actually going into the XLR input of the Pocket 4K, which is then going... You're not recording any audio right now, you know that, right?
What? Yeah, you are. Look, it's there. It's on. No.
No, you're not. Because this has to be on.
Oh, man. And you know what?
You recorded 0 audio.
I don't think anybody has turned that on.
I did when I set it up. Damn it.
I'll just redo the
Just redo your thing.
I need to come and delete my videos on your machine if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, man.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
So let's go into Studio B. Why not? But taking food orders has nothing to do with the tech. What would I like? So Studio B, here we are. People are of course already setting up, but well, there's so many people in here. What are those people doing? What are they?
That's confidential.
It's confidential. So here in Studio B, let's not talk about amps because it's all about video. We have 7 cameras. See the green cables? That's all SDI going into the control room. We got this older Blackmagic cinema that right now shows Fear. I have that on long cables, so I can move it around back here with this Canon lens to shoot amps, to shoot the backs of amps. Anything we need to do back here as kind of like, B-roll footage stuff is done with this. We have one autofocus camera, which Blackmagic is not very good at. And that's this Alpha 6400. Little screen on top. And Victor could hold the guitar into the camera. Really close, and it will autofocus. That's what that is for. Then we have this older studio camera. I'm waiting for the new ones. Shooting the person over there on that chair. And then, of course, is going with SDI. We have a Canon XF705 right there, which is beautiful for zooming in on shots, zooming in on amps. Totally good. We have another studio camera as the center for the main with a 12mm prime. Another studio camera to shoot the guy on the left. And then we have another Sony AX53 to shoot the pedal board. This is all nicely done with these Atem Hall thingies. We got a Sennheiser shotgun, the 416, recording both of them. Of course, there's big ass lights, that's aperture, that's light panels, all that. So Bo is in here.
Hello.
Running Studio B. And here's, of course, the Blackmagic setup. So there's a laptop in case you need it for focusing, all that stuff in the software. There's an Atem 1ME, 10 4K inputs. There's a older web presenter and recorder, which we're not actually using. Hyperdeck Mini. We have a, whatever that thing is called, 4K screen, Ultra View I think it's called. Really nice for colors and the full resolution. And this right now is in 1080p interlaced multi-view. Lilo Dallas multi-view. You can see all 7 cameras. That's a little bit close. We have to change that. And we're recording on the Hyperdeck Pro. I did order when they come in the new Hyperdecks because they also have SD cards. As a backup, we're recording on this Atom Shogun. So I've got a 2 terabyte drive in there, and the YouTuber drives will go in here. But we have everything doubled up, which is a good idea just in case. Yamaha mixer right there, going with aux outs, that's the TF1 by the way, into this Zoom F6, running 32-bit audio recording, so you really can't make a mistake. And that's it. That's pretty much the setup here. The S-steps are switching this whole thing. Of course, a big Blackmagic panel would be nice, which I have in the other room, but this is a cheap solution wirelessly. You could even run out in the room.
I could.
And do it there. It's Bluetooth. Bo is running in the room. And he's switching from in there. So if you wanted to do a setup by yourself, checking cameras, focusing and stuff, you could totally do this. These are going Bluetooth into the software and literally just switching, the angles. That's a very cheap setup, and you don't need the big Blackmagic panel, but you want the big Blackmagic panel. We got talkback mics right here, so communication can happen. all good. That is Studio B, a nice place. See you in a minute. Now we're heading into the main studios, Studio A in the living room, which are in my house, as always.
Hello.
And we're gonna start, there's the angle guy, just known as the angle guy. So here we got the control room, from which we, I guess control things. So the heart of the system is this Atem. It says Atem 2, but it is not. It is actually an Atem 4. The software upgraded it to an Atem 4, which means that has 20 4K inputs, 4 MEs, whatever that means, mixer, engine, something, and the whole thing is being fed by this Smart Hub 40x40, which means everything in the house, all cameras, all recorders, all screens, everything is running through this first. And in software, I can say that this Wiener cable, it's called Wiener, is going into the Atem 4-in-1. And I can do this here. I can obviously do it in software, which is a much better idea. And everything then gets recorded onto this SSD from Andy, in this case, HyperDeck Pro. And again, I will put the new HyperDeck right there because I like the idea of what it can do. We're also doing backup, and the backup is happening on this Atomos Ninja right here. 2 terabyte drive. We still have 6 hours left, which is good. There's Andy. And that's being fed from the Smart Hub. I can assign any signal to it simply by going into the software. And if we're looking behind the Smart Hub, you can see every input and output is fully used up. I literally have no leeway. I have nowhere to go. It's complete. Oh, number 29 is not used. Fine then. It's completely ridiculous. And that's how it should be. So here we see Studio A, which is this room down there. We got how many cameras? 6 cameras. Lame, should be more. It's freaking Ibanez, people. Jumping in the video, being loud. What's with the Ibanez? Don't buy Ibanez. No, buy Ibanez is cool. That's Michael, he just arrived. And that's Dr. Dan. You know Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan. Ooh. So I'm doing a video.
Is he filming already?
No, I'm doing a video. Are you? Up here we have a studio living room. And of course it's all handled by the software and being controlled with this Atem panel right here. And the way right now we're set up for this room, we can change the layout very easily with profiles, which we found out. So we can change to the living room very simply. We record in Cubase for Studio A, and for the living room, we're actually recording on this PreSonus directly to SD cards. So Andy's trying to make a video, but I will have to come in and annoy him. I'm so sorry, Andy. I'm so sorry, but I have to make this behind the scenes video because Blackmagic likes that.
Okay.
So
Blackmagic, tell me about this company.
Blackmagic make these little switchies. Mm-hmm. You push them, and and when you reset them, by the way, in the post office, as you beautifully did, the audio button on channel 1 didn't get pushed, so nobody's got audio.
You did, because I reset it and then I put the audio back in, which means somebody else reset it and didn't put the audio back in.
Good.
Because I was the first person after resetting it to use it.
So Andy's also using an Atem Mini Pro ISO?
No.
Okay, tell us about your ISO, your Mini Pro. How cool is that?
It's very cool, very easy to use.
Thank you. Okay, so in here, usually there's a camera there and a camera there, but we don't have these.
Who's here spoiling my video about this beautiful guitar?
I'll need a minute and then I'm out of your hair.
I don't want you in my hair.
Moving on, Micro 4K right here. I guess it's filming amps.
I don't know.
Why is this? Where's this pointing at the moment?
I don't care. I only need that one.
Amps.
I don't know why you want all these cameras. I mean,
Blackmagic sells them, so I buy them. That's the rule.
That's the money shot right there. The one with me in it.
So Micro 4K right there as the main cam. Micro 4K for guitar. Another Micro 4K for another guitar. We got a Sony A7 III with a 16:35 for the beautiful, beautiful side shot. That's annoyed Andy. That's a micro 4K for the pedal, which he's not using. And usually there's another back there for the side of the pedal.
That's my wallet cam.
That's the wallet cam. This is what Andy sees. So from the hub, I can project the program on there and, of course, the multi-view. But literally, within seconds, I could put any image on there that Andy chooses. Of course, provided there's cameras for it. And that's in here. I have on the table here, as you can see, there's extra cables coming out that I can route to. There's another cable over here that I can route to go into the Sumo. There are inputs right here in the studio. One output, 3 inputs. I can just plug something in there. And behind Andy, inputs and outputs that I can easily access. Oh, there's also an Extreme Studio, Ultra Studio, and there's a normal Ultra Studio. Why do I have both? Because I'm fucking insane. And one of them was cheap and I had to buy it. Well, this one was $980, kind of new on eBay, even though it's 3,000. I mean, wouldn't you have bought that?
No.
Oh.
But had I needed it, yes.
Oh, I don't need it. I already have an Ultra Studio.
You had a space in the rack that needed to be filled. I understand your pain.
Moving on. Thank you. Sorry. That's Volker. He's a nice guy and he's got pretty guitars. What guitar are you playing?
HT150 custom core.
So after fixing a couple of problems, because their shotgun mic was literally miking the underside of the table, we're going into the living room now. Actually, something else we wanted to do, as you can see up here in my bedroom, I set up this whole thing and it had an Atem Mini and all that stuff, and we were using this to actually go through the internet with the Atem streaming bridge to go to my mom's house and show what's being done in the studios here. But I only have one Mini Pro, and I thought that the Atem Mini can also do that, but it can't. I have an Atem Mini and a Mini Pro, so no Atem streaming bridge, so I bought that pretty much for nothing. But it's really cool that you can do that. So in here, Kfir is setting up.
Yeah, going to be all over the video.
For a video that Kfir is everywhere. Kfir is everywhere. So this is my living room. And, well, where are the cables coming from? Well, the cables are coming from downstairs. And there is a big green hose, which has been in my house now for 3 years, since Gear Street 1. We've never took it down. And it's going down there. And it's going through this totally chaotic storage room. And it's going here. It's going there. It's going around the corner. And it arrives in here. Something like this is the reason why the new studio cameras are so cool, because you can run them, if you have the studio converter, just with one LAN cable, power, control, and video, and that is the cool thing. So had they arrived, they would have been right here and on the other side. That's the idea. I'm gonna turn the TV on. So right here, we have a 5-camera setup. We have the studio camera showing the person on the right, running a Xen 35 Prime. So we can't remote control that, but that's not the camera's fault, that's the lens's fault. We have over here, showing the guy on the left, another studio camera, really nice, with a 12 to 35 Panasonic. We have a zoom-in camera, and for that I use this video camera. That's a Canon XF400, and we can zoom in easily and show the amp panel close. So no prime lenses here. And then another prime lens is on this little ditty. That is a red Komodo with a 24 Xen cinema lens. Gives us a rather nice main shot. And that, of course, is all going SDI out. In order to control the Blackmagic cameras, in the future, it'll all be just one LAN cable. Right now, I'm running one cable from downstairs up here into a SDI distribution, which splits that signal up 8 times. And then I can distribute it to all the Blackmagic cameras right here. The same control signal. I don't have to run individual cables. I run one cable from downstairs into this. And that also is feeding the TV, because the TV is showing the program image, and the control signals are actually embedded into any output on the Atem. I don't know if this is of any interest to anyone, but that's how we're doing it, and could be interesting. So right there, when you're sitting here making a video, you can actually see what's going on and what's being switched to. Right now, obviously, what's being switched to is the video downstairs, but when you're up here, you of course have the angles from up here. Light-wise, we have another aperture, light panels. Above the table, well, here's another Sennheiser 416, but above the table, we get another micro 4K with a 12 to 60, the same thing that I have downstairs for the pedals, which is a nice zoom, and we can actually show whatever is happening on the table. That is actually hanging off a Tried Orbit Starbird, the ridiculously €1,500 mega stand, but I can extend that up to 6 meters high, and I can actually put a camera way out there, and you don't see it in any shot. There are all the amps, of course, being switched with Ampede switchers, all that stuff. I have the new Ampede effects switcher, which means actually all these amps are also wired up with the effects loops. And when we switch to the amp, the effects loops switch as well and put those 3 pedals into the loops. Nice. Eventide, Jupiter, and Walrus Audio. Everything is running through this Tuners Captor X. And if we need to attenuate, I happen to have a Freyet power station on loan, which is doing a good job. So now I show you where the signal goes to my mom's. Let's walk. Perfecto.
Hello.
Fear again. So, did Paul park illegally?
Yes, but I'm out in 30 minutes.
There's an SDI cable coming up out of a window up there. That's why we wanted the streaming bridge, because that would have been so much easier. But I need another Atem Mini Pro for that. So if we had the Atem streaming bridge, then this would go through the internet into my mom's house. And I have it, but again, I don't have enough Atem Mini Pros. I mean, there's only so much gear a person can have. So that cable is going into the building up there, through my mom's house, through my mom's house, through my mom's house. This is where Tom James makes his elevated jam tracks, right here. Don't know where he is. Okay. We still have some chaos from the rain last night. Good times, good times. So right here is the first monitor, and the cable is being fed into this SDI to HDMI converter, and I'm only doing this in HD because I'm grabbing an HD out over from the Atem. It has an extra HD program out that's being run with a 100 meter cable into the SDI to HDMI converter, and then looped through for the next TV. And right here, I can actually see what Andy is doing across the street. So people can, he's saying bye-bye. So people can actually sit right here, have coffee, and have a good time watching. I'm getting a pss, pss. Mom, what's up? Why is she whispering?
We are looking for this camera. It can't be Andy's.
No, this is mine. Oh, yeah, okay, that's wet. Okay, good. So, moving on to the last little bit, which is the last TV. Here people sit around. There's towels. There are the whirlpools, which were being used heavily yesterday. Das ist aber auch erst seit 10 Minuten, wie gesagt.
Das weiß ich, aber ich meine nur dieses, das wäre zu eng gewesen.
Yesterday. There's Christian Kohle.
I feel much better than yesterday. No Schnaps for me yet.
No Schnaps for me.
Residenz in so einem Kaff.
Das ist doch schick.
Ja, geil. Muss laufen.
Residenz, Musik. So, in here it's loud. Everyone's in here. Everyone's in here. The lovely Tia. And nobody's turned the TV on to see the lovely Andy. So here in the garage, people can also see what's happening in Studio A and the living room. That's being transmitted. and they have coffee and all that stuff. But that's not behind the scenes. That's other stuff. I'm gonna move through people here who are occupying my personal space bubble.
Selling me on procedures I didn't need. She's like, yeah, I'll
So. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Good morning.
And there's Luca from Red 7 amps, which you should buy because they're red and they're 7 and they're good. That's my pitch. That's my pitch for Red 7 amps. There's Lee. Say hi.
Hello. Hi, Henning.
There's Chris and Dirk. Say hi.
Hello.
Bye bye. So that's the little bit of tech that we need for 42 Gear Street. As you can see, about 90% of it is Blackmagic Design, because with what they do, and I'm not saying that because I have a deal with them for, let's support the event with another camera, which is still on the way, but there's literally nothing on the market in that price point, in that quality, that can do what Blackmagic does. Yes, the Atem 4 that I'm using is $6,000, but 20 4K inputs, there's anything even remotely like it is going to be 3-4 times more. I don't even know the products that do this. I think Sony has a big switching, but we're talking about 80 grand or something. So I'm so happy that I invested into this infrastructure, into this whole mega system, because that allows me to do 42 Gear Street. It allows me to run these 4 studios with a small team of 5 people and crank out ridiculous 4K footage. And if Andy actually doesn't put his mic under the table, the audio is also good. Thank you, Blackmagic. Looking forward to many more years of working with you guys. You make awesome stuff. That's why I invested in it. I hope this was interesting to someone to see what goes on behind the scenes when it comes to the tech stuff of 42 Gear Street. I'm going to say thanks for watching. Animals at the end.